Hi everybody, welcome back to Storytime with Grandma Kate. Today I'm going to share another book by Laura Joffe-Numeroff and Felicia Bond called If You Give a Moose a Muffin. To remember, I think it was back in May, I read a book to you called If You Give a Cat a Cupcake, and I'll put the link to that in the description below. That was the day that we got Leo, or the day after we got Leo from Paws and Whiskers. And I just had to kick him out of here because he was making too much noise while I was trying to read. Time goes by so fast, doesn't it? But anyway, let's see, today is September the 23rd, I believe. And fall is coming. And so I thought I would read If You Give a Moose a Muffin, because it reminds me of wearing sweaters and drinking warm things to warm up in the morning. As I look outside my window, I can see the fall leaves starting to turn, and my garden is starting to get sleepy. I always say the garden is sleepy this time of year, so it's time to put it to bed for winter, but not quite yet. We're going to be enjoying Halloween and Thanksgiving and all those other wonderful things before that time. So if you've read If You Give a Moose a Muffin, you may want to hit pause if you have this book at home and go grab your copy, and then we can read together. This book was actually a gift from my friend Sally and her husband Mark. And when I taught first grade, she gave this book to me so I could read it to my kids. And the dedication says, "To Miss Ingersoll and her students everywhere, with much love, Ms. Howe and Mr. Standriff." So you're not like my students, but it's always fun to share books that were given to me by friends. So we'll enjoy this one together. It's called If You Give a Moose a Muffin. And there's our friend Moose, and I notice he's going, and I see little smoke tendrils. Actually, I think that means he's smelling something yummy. I love to bake this time of year, and muffins are one of my favorite things to bake. Look at that cozy little house. You can see the little scent coming all the way over to our friend Moose. We have a comfy, cozy little house too, with a sweet little garden around it. And let's read together. If you give a moose a muffin, there's the muffin, he'll want some jam to go with it. So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. Yum, I like honey myself. And when he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another, and another, and another. When they're all gone, he'll ask you to make more. I would eat that many. That's why I don't make them very often, because I would eat them all. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix, and he'll want to go with you. When he opens the door and feels how chilly it is, he'll ask to borrow a sweater. Do you think a sweater that this little guy wears will fit that big moose? I don't know, let's see. When he puts the sweater on, he'll notice one of the buttons is loose, and he'll ask for a needle and thread. He'll start sewing. The button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. It's a pretty talented moose. So he'll ask for some old socks, and he'll make sock puppets. When they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show. He'll need some cardboard and paints. I love it. I think that's the little mouse from like If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And there's our friend Moose. Then he'll ask you to help him make scenery. Do you know what scenery is? It's like the background in a play. That kind of tells you the setting or where the play takes place. I used to volunteer at our local theater, and sometimes the scenery was made out of wood, but this is made out of cardboard. When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch, but his antlers will stick out. So he'll ask for something to cover them up. You see that? You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" It'll scare him so much, he'll knock over the paints. Silly moose. So he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess. And then he'll ask for some soap to wash it off. That's a nice moose. He's very polite to clean up the mess he made. He'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. See, Mom's outside raking the leaves. Wonder if they're going to go out and see her. Yep. So he'll go outside to put it on the clothesline. When he's out in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. And what do you think the blackberry bushes will remind him of? Grandma Kate always has a hard time turning the pages, doesn't she? There we go. Seeing the blackberries will remind him of her jam. And he'll probably ask you for some. And chances are, if you give him the jam, he'll want a muffin to go with it. Isn't that sweet? You know, I don't use muffin mix when I make muffins. I make them from scratch. And making something from scratch means you use all the ingredients that you have at home, like flour and sugar, and sometimes I'll put pumpkin in my muffins or bananas. Papa and I like to put raisins in ours. So maybe you want to try and make some muffins of your own this weekend. Maybe Mom or Dad or Grandma or Grandpa could help you. But until the next time, if you give a moose a muffin at your local library, I'm sure it would be a great one to share with your family. Until I see you next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.